Business Result Pre-Intermediate by David Grant, Jane Hudson and Robert McClarty. Published and copyright Oxford University Press, 2009. CD 1. Unit 1. Audio 1.
Which company do you work for?
It's called Bessam. B-E-S-A-M. You probably don't know it.
No, I don't. What does the company do?
We specialise in automatic door mechanisms, but we're a subsidiary of Assa Abloy. Perhaps you know that name?
No, sorry, I don't.
It's a Swedish group. It makes locks and security systems. I'm sure you know some of our products. Yale locks or Chubb or Vachette, for example.
No, I'm afraid I don't. Is it a very big group then?
Yes, it is. There are about 30,000 employees.
That is big.
And annual sales of about 3 billion euros.
So, are you mainly in the European market?
No, we operate in 40 different countries worldwide. There are 150 different companies in the Assa Abloy group.
Who are your main competitors then?
The Eastern Company, Ingersoll Rand, Master Lock.
Well, I think you can see now that I know nothing about the security business.
So, who do you work for?
Microsoft.
And what does your company do?
We make... That's a joke, right?
Audio 2.
The Nestlé Company was created in 1866 by Henri Nestlé. The first Nestlé product was baby milk. The company still produces baby products today, but this is just one in a wide range of food and beverage products, including bottled water, breakfast cereals and ice cream. It's a very successful company with sales last year of more than 107 billion Swiss francs. Nestlé is a truly global company. Its head office is in Vevey in Switzerland, but it manufactures in 780 factories around the world and sells on all 5 continents. For this, it depends on its 276,000 employees. Nestlé believes that it is important to invest in its employees. Training is an important part of its philosophy. In 2002, 65% of its employees received some form of training. That's one reason why less than 5% of employees leave every year. Nestlé also invests in people outside the company, giving money and help to local communities. The company offers education in nutrition and health programs and gives free food. It also plays a role in protecting the environment by using less water, less energy and less packaging. Stay tuned for more in Nestlé in Focus right after the break.
Audio 3. 1.
Could I speak to you for a moment?
Yes, of course.
2.
Can you tell me your name?
Sure, it's Woody Nielsen.
3.
Can I have another drink, please?
Certainly. Same again.
4.
Could you call me again tomorrow?
I'm afraid I'm on holiday.
5.
Would you repeat that, please?
Yes, sorry. The reference is 1256K.
6.
Could you help me for a moment?
Sorry, but I'm very busy. Can it wait?
Audio 4.
Excuse me, is this seat free?
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Thanks very much. Can I introduce myself? I'm Gianluca Donatelli.
Nice to meet you. I am Jana Farkova.
Nice to meet you too, Jana. Where are you from?
I am from the Czech Republic, but I work all over Europe.
And who do you work for?
I don't work for a company. I am self-employed.
Oh, really? And what do you do?
I am a journalist. I write articles for consumer magazines.
So why are you at this conference?
I am here to research an article on internet service providers.
That's interesting. A friend of mine works for an Italian service provider. Can I introduce you to him?
Yes, of course. That would be nice.
Roberto, can you come here for a minute? This is, sorry, what's your name again?
Jana. Jana Farkova.
Roberto, this is Jana. She's writing an article on internet service providers.
Audio 5. 1.
Excuse me, is this seat free?
2.
Thanks very much. Can I introduce myself? I'm Gianluca Donatelli.
3.
Nice to meet you too, Jana. Where are you from?
4.
And who do you work for?
5.
Oh, really? And what do you do?
6.
So why are you at this conference?
7.
That's interesting. A friend of mine works for an Italian service provider. Can I introduce you to him?
8.
Roberto, can you come here for a minute? This is, sorry, what's your name again?
9.
Roberto, this is Jana. She's writing an article on internet service providers.
Audio 6. 1.
What do you do?
I am a journalist. I write articles for consumer magazines. What about you? What do you do?
I'm a sales manager.
2.
Why are you at this conference?
I am here to research an article on internet service providers. What about you? What are you here for?
We want to find new customers in the European market.
Audio 7. Joker question 1.
This Internet Services company has its head office in Mountain View, California. If you are looking for information on the Internet, go to this company's page first. What's the name of the company?
Joker question 2.
This car manufacturer is based in the UK, but it's a subsidiary of the German company BMW. It's well known for its luxury cars, but it also makes engines for the aeronautic and marine industries. What's the name of the company?
Joker question 3.
This Japanese company specializes in audio, video and communications products. It has around 160,000 employees. One of its most well-known products is PlayStation. What's the name of the company?
Joker question 4.
This American company has its head office in Seattle, Washington. Its products include the 737, 747, 767 and the new 787. It's the main competitor of Airbus. What's the name of the company?
Joker question 5.
This company specializes in tyres for cars, but it's also well known for its calendars. It's a competitor of Michelin and Goodyear, and it's based in Italy. What's the name of the company?
Joker question 6.
This Northern European company produces mobile phones, multimedia systems and wireless networks. In the mobile phone market, its main competitors are Ericsson and Motorola. What's the name of the company?
Joker question 7.
This French group is a world leader in dairy products, including yogurts, cheese and desserts. It's the number 2 in bottled water, and it also produces biscuits. What's the name of the company?
Unit 2. Audio 8.
Where do you work?
In the technical support department.
So, what do you do exactly?
Basically, my job consists of answering calls from customers who are having problems with their software. But it also involves working with sales reps from time to time. We visit new customers together.
Do you develop software too?
We aren't involved in developing new programs, but when programmers are preparing new versions of old products, we take part in the discussions. We speak to customers every day, so we know the technical issues very well.
So, what sort of problems do you have to solve?
Oh, the usual. We deal with installation issues, password problems, bugs, things like that.
Audio 9. 1.
Technical support, Aidan speaking.
Hi, Aidan.
Who am I speaking to?
Sorry, this is Nadira. I'm trying to access my customer files, but the computer isn't accepting my password.
Yes, I think you're the 5th or 6th person to tell me that. There's a problem with the server.
Is somebody working on it at the moment?
Yes, I am, but it's not easy because I'm on my own here. Everybody else is having lunch. Try again in half an hour.
OK, Aidan, thanks.
2.
Excuse me, Carlos.
Yes, what's the problem? Can it wait? I'm having a meeting in here.
Who are you talking to?
A supplier. We are discussing new prices for this year. Why are you disturbing me?
It's just that somebody is asking to use the room.
But I use this room every Monday. I always have a meeting here.
Yes, but you know that the sales director always has priority.
Yes, I know. Is he waiting there now?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Audio 10. 1.
The code for England is 0044.
2.
My mobile number is 077 00 900 347.
Audio 11. 1.
Could you give me your contact details?
Sure. My name's Jeff Eccleston. That's ECCLESTON.
Eccleston, with a double C?
That's right.
And your first name, Jeff. Is that Jeff with a G or Jeff with a J?
With a G. GEOFF.
OK, I've got that.
2.
Can I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Bryony Rees. That's BRIONY.
BRIONY. And your surname? Rees, did you say?
Yes, that's RHYS.
RHYS. OK.
Audio 12. 1.
Ackers and Shipton, how can I help you?
Is Mrs. Ackers there, please?
Speaking. Who's calling, please?
This is Simon Ilago from AOS, Ace Office Supplies.
What can I do for you, Mr. Ilago?
I'm calling about a special price on our printers, Mrs. Ackers.
I'm sorry, but I can't discuss this now. I have a meeting in 5 minutes.
Can I call you back tomorrow?
Sorry, but I'm out of the office tomorrow. But thanks for calling. Goodbye.
You're welcome. Goodbye. 2.
BFC Consulting. Ralph Gustafsson speaking.
Hello. Could I speak to Leo Kelleher, please?
I'm afraid he's out of the office at the moment.
Could I leave a message?
Yes, of course. Could I have your name, please?
This is Natalie Kent from NT Consulting. Could you ask Leo to call me back? It's quite urgent.
Yes, sure. Could you tell me what it's about?
Yes. I'm phoning to offer him some subcontracting work.
Okay. I'll give Leo the message.
Thanks for your help. Goodbye.
Unit 3. Audio 13. 1.
In our department, we do reports at the end of each month, which show all the money going into and out of the company. It takes a really long time. I had a meeting today with Anna Neves, who's responsible for our software. She's coming to show me a new program she wants to buy. She says it will help us a lot with all our financial reporting.
2.
Our company is divided into 3 business units: home, industrial, and public services. I work in the industrial business unit. I organize all the transport from suppliers to our factories, and from our factories to customers. Today I have a visit from Ralph Erling. He's the person in charge of buying for the whole group. He wants to use just 3 or 4 big international transporters for all 3 of our business units. He thinks it will cost less to have a small number of suppliers.
3.
I have contact with a lot of training organizations. We have a lot of people learning English here. We're also organizing a lot of IT courses this year because we're changing our marketing software at the moment. I report to the HR director. She's coming here for a meeting today. We're employing a lot of new people this year, and she thinks they have special training needs. We're talking about what courses we can offer them.
Audio 14. 1.
Here on the first floor, we have all the administrative offices. This is the CEO's office, just here on the right. He's not here today.
How often does he use this office?
Oh, he's here about 1 day a week.
Where does he come from? He's American, isn't he?
Yes, he's from New York.
2.
This is our HR manager, Carla Brooks. Carla, this is Robert Shalitsky. He's interested in doing some marketing work for us in Poland.
Oh, that's good news. Nice to meet you, Mr.
Sielicki. But please, call me Robert. Nice to meet you too, Carla.
How long are you staying here, Robert?
Just 2 days. Today and tomorrow.
And who do you want to see while you're here?
Well, 1 or 2 people in sales and marketing. But I'd also like to see you later, if possible. I'm very interested in the training programs you have here.
3.
We're now going into the new part of the building. This is where we have our new call centre for customers from all over the world.
When did it open?
Just 2 months ago, in January.
And how many calls a day do you receive?
I think it's about 500 a day. Let's ask the customer service manager.
4.
Can I introduce you to Alex Fenton? Alex is responsible for new business in Northern Europe. He's on the road most of the time, talking to new customers.
Hello, Alex. So which countries do you visit?
Sweden and Denmark, mostly, but we're also very interested in Poland.
How much do you know about the Polish market?
Not very much. I think we have a meeting this afternoon to talk about it.
Audio 15. 1.
Welcome to Freebird.
Thanks very much. It's nice to be here.
2.
Did you have a good trip?
Yes, thanks. It was fine.
3.
And did you find your way here all right?
No problem. Your secretary sent me a very good map.
4.
That's good. Where are you staying?
At the Continental Hotel.
5.
So how long are you here for?
Just 3 days.
6.
Would you like something to drink before we start?
Yes, please. A coffee would be nice.
7.
Okay. I'll fix that for you. Now, did you get the program I sent you?
Yes, I did, thanks.
Good. So perhaps we can get started.
Audio 16.
Welcome to Freebird.
Thanks very much. It's nice to be here.
Is this your first time in Lisbon?
Yes, it is.
Did you have a good trip?
Yes, thanks. It was fine.
What time did you arrive last night?
Oh, I was at my hotel at about 8 o'clock.
That's good. Not too late then. And did you find your way here all right?
No problem. Your secretary sent me a very good map.
That's good. How did you get here? By car?
Yes, I rented a car at the airport.
Where are you staying?
At the Continental Hotel.
And is it comfortable enough for you?
Yes, thanks. It's very comfortable.
I'm pleased to hear that. So how long are you here for?
Just 3 days.
And will you have time to look around Lisbon while you're here?
Yes, I hope so.
Well, I'm sure we can arrange something. Would you like something to drink before we start?
Yes, please. A coffee would be nice.
How do you like it?
Black, please. No sugar.
Okay, I'll fix that for you. Now, did you get the program I sent you?
Yes, I did, thanks.
And would you like to make any changes?
No, everything seems fine.
Oh, good. So perhaps we can get started.
Audio 17.
This pie chart gives you the breakdown of Lenovo's sales worldwide. Can everybody see that okay? As you can see, 27.6% of sales are in the Americas, but notice that China represents 37.5% of worldwide sales. This graph shows the change in market share in the last 2 or 3 years. As you can see, in 2006, Lenovo's market share was 35.8%. After a bad start in 2007, it went up again to 36.1% in the second half of the year. It went down again at the end of the year, but rose again in 2008. However, the important thing here is that Lenovo is still the market leader in China, with about a third of all PC sales. This diagram summarizes the company's main operations. So, sales are based in Beijing, where there are also facilities for manufacturing, research and development, and after-sales. But note that the company has operations in many different cities. There are R&D centers in 5 different cities and production units in the same number of locations. Our call center operates 24 hours a day, and we have more than 3,000 technical support engineers to deal with customer problems.
Unit 4, Audio 18.
So, how did Fat Face start?
Well, we had the original idea one night in 1988. We were both working in a bar in a ski resort called Meribel in the French Alps. We were working at night so that we could ski all day. But the late nights and early mornings were too much. We needed to find another way to pay for our skiing, so we hit upon the idea of selling T-shirts.
I suppose you didn't think of doing any market research at the time.
No, we just ordered 100 T-shirts and were incredibly surprised at how quickly we managed to sell them.
Who designed the T-shirts then?
We did. We decided to create our own so that they would be more original. We got a manufacturer in the UK to print them for us and then send them over to Marybelle. We did product trials by seeing which designs sold the quickest.
So, why the name, Fat Face?
When we decided to open our first shop, we obviously needed a name. Fat Face comes from one of our favourite ski slopes in Val d'Isère called La Face.
How would you describe your clothing?
Practical and stylish at the same time. People associate our brand with an active outdoor lifestyle. At the same time, the designs are interesting and attractive.
When did you actually launch Fat Face Limited?
The shop opened in 1993 and sales were quite slow to start with, but they soon got better, especially at the beginning of the year 2000. Sales are now extremely good, so we've come a long way since our skiing days in Marybelle. Audio 19.
Welcome to our new series, Business Foundation, where we're going to take a look at the inventors who have made our lives so different today. People like Sabir Bhatia, one of the founders of Hotmail, who launched his online email service in 1996. Martin Cooper, who made the first mobile phone call in 1973. Tim Berners-Lee, who developed the World Wide Web in 1991. And Otto Victorl, who made the first contact lens in 1961 in what was then Czechoslovakia. Today we've got IT expert Neil Harris in the studio to tell us the story of Sabir Bhatia. Neil, when did Sabir come to the USA?
Audio 20.
Neil, when did Sabir come to the USA?
Well, Sabir arrived in the USA in 1988 when he got a place to study electrical engineering at Caltech, the California Institute of Technology. After that, he went on to do a master's degree at Stanford University.
What did he do then?
Well, he didn't finish his doctorate at Stanford because he decided to take up a job offer with Apple. Here, he met Jack Smith, and later the two of them joined a startup company called Firepower Systems, Inc. At this point, Sabir and Jack started working together on new ideas for the Internet.
So, how did they get the idea for Hotmail?
Actually, it was Jack Smith who thought of it first. He was frustrated because he couldn't send an email privately at work. He called Sabir on his cell phone with an idea for a private email service. Sabir told Jack to hang up because someone might hear their conversation. When Sabir got home, the two discussed the idea in more detail, and then Sabir came up with a business plan.
How did they decide on the name?
They tried all kinds of names ending in the word mail. In the end, they decided on Hotmail because it contained the letters HTML, the coding on all web pages.
When did Sabir and Jack launch Hotmail?
Well, first they had to get funding, but they didn't want to tell too many people about their idea because someone might copy it. Eventually, a sponsor agreed to invest $300,000 in the idea. Sabir and Jack launched Hotmail on July 4th, 1996, Independence Day, and in less than 6 months, they had 1 million users.
What about the offer from Microsoft?
Well, Microsoft soon realized how well Hotmail was doing, and in the autumn of 1997, they made their first offer for the company. It took them 2 months to negotiate an agreement with Sabir, who finally sold Hotmail on December 30th for around $400 million. It was agreed that Sabir would continue as CEO of Hotmail, but he only stayed for about a year.
Why did he leave Microsoft?
Nobody knows. But he's still busy in the world of IT. He has great plans for his home country. He wants to develop a similar location to Silicon Valley in India.
Let's hope he makes it then. Neil Harris, thank you for joining us.
Audio 21.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, it was great. We went away for a change.
Did you? Where did you go?
We went to Monte Carlo.
That's interesting. To see the car racing?
Yes, that's right. It was really exciting.
Was it? I've never been to Monaco.
It was my first time, actually. I really enjoyed it. And the weather was fantastic.
Oh, really? It rained here all weekend. I think you went to the right place.
Audio 22.
I'm here to report on our experiment with pod pads at the Summer House Festival last month. The purpose of our research was to find the most comfortable place for visitors to stay during outdoor festivals. We wanted to find out which accommodation would keep people dry in bad weather. Why did we choose pod pads? Because they are much stronger than tents. The makers also have an installation team who put up the pod pads before the event and take them down again afterwards. First, we contacted podpads.com and ordered 50 pod pads for the Summer House Festival. Then, on our website, we offered free accommodation to 50 visitors if they took part in our research. We spoke to our pod pad residents after one night and then again after a second night. All of them said they would consider hiring a pod pad at the next festival they went to, depending on the price. Finally, we visited the farmers who let us use their land. We asked them for their opinion of the company. They commented on the efficiency of the team who put up the pod pads and then took them down as soon as the festival was over. I think we can say that the pod pads were a huge success. We found that they were popular with both visitors and farmers, and more importantly, they will protect the people using them from bad weather.
Unit 5. Audio 23. Anna.
I'm a mother with 2 young children. I took this job because it offered me flexible hours. I get to work at 8 in the morning, but then I can leave at 4 in the afternoon to get the children from school. I also have 6 weeks paid holiday, which is very useful in the summer when the schools are closed. I get private healthcare for all the family, and that saves me a lot of money. I don't plan to have any more children, but the maternity leave is also good here, 6 months on full pay.
Mark.
I travel a lot because I'm in sales, so I get a company car with the job. I can use it at weekends too, which is great, as I get cheap petrol. They also give me a laptop for doing all my reports and a mobile phone. I can use the phone for personal calls too, which is useful. And the kids can use the laptop at weekends. I also get free gym membership. A lot of people go to the gym in the lunch hour and after work, but it's not much good for me because I'm always on the road.
Valerie.
What interested me first about this job was the training courses they offered me. I've done courses in management, teamwork, and customer service. And the company also offers subsidized childcare. I had a baby last year, so that's been really useful for me. We also have a very good company pension scheme. But I'm only 28, so that's not really important now. What interests me more at the moment is the annual bonus. That means more money for Christmas presents in December, if the company's results are good.
Audio 24.
Have you ever seen a video CV?
No, I've never seen one, but I have heard of them. In fact, I read an article about them a few days ago. It said that people have started making video clips as part of their job applications. And some companies have already started offering video CV services.
Well, someone has emailed me a CV today, and there's a link to a video on her blog, but I haven't watched it yet.
Well, shall we have a look at it now?
Audio 25.
So, when did you start working in the non-profit sector?
When I left university in 1998.
And have you ever worked for a big organisation?
No, I haven't. But I've worked for 3 smaller ones with operations in Africa. So I've already had a lot of experience in the field.
And have you been to Africa in the last year?
Yes, I have. This year I've been to Tanzania. I spent 6 months working on a construction project.
What did you do there exactly?
Well, my job was to supervise the building of a new school. It opened in June.
And were you happy with the results?
Yes, I was. The school was ready 2 months early, and that saved us $10,000 on the construction costs.
Audio 26.
Antonio, I need you to make a list of participants for tomorrow's training course.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
And please include all their mobile phone numbers.
I'm not sure I can do that. I haven't got a list. Do we have one somewhere?
Yes. Just look in the green file on my desk. And I'd like you to phone the sales director for me this afternoon.
No problem.
Can you tell him that the welcome party is at 6:30 this evening?
Yes, of course. Anything else?
Yes. Could I ask you to go to the party too? I know it's late, but I can't be there because I have a meeting.
I'm afraid I can't, Paula. I've got a train to catch at 6.
Audio 27.
Ben, I wanted to talk to you about the S&T project.
Yes. Where are we with recruitment exactly?
Well, we've already shortlisted 20 candidates.
That's good. Can you give me their CVs?
I emailed them to you last week. Have you looked at your emails?
No. Sorry, Natasha. I've been very short of time this week.
Well, time's running out. I need to call the candidates early next week to arrange the interviews.
Well, I'll read everything this weekend. Don't worry. Leave it with me.
And what about the interviews at the end of the month? I'd like you to tell me when you're free. I'll need you for 2 or 3 days.
Well, I'm not sure at the moment. I've got one all-day meeting at SNT that week, but I haven't heard what date yet.
Look, Ben, the interviews are very soon. Can you let me know by Monday morning at the latest?
Okay, I'll do it. Oh, by the way, have you finished the job description yet?
No, I haven't had time. I want to work on it this afternoon. I also need to speak to the MD about salaries and benefits. It seems that you and he don't agree.
I'm having a meeting with him this afternoon.
Okay, so can you deal with the salaries issue when you see him?
No problem.
Thanks, Ben. So that's salaries to discuss this afternoon, CVs to read this weekend, and your availability for interviews by Monday morning. You won't forget all that?
No, I won't.
Unit 6. Audio 28. 1.
Last year, I bought a book about the painter Degas from a local bookshop. When I got home, I found the book was in Spanish, not in English. I went back to the shop, but they didn't have the English version in stock. They said it was impossible to give me a refund. Actually, they weren't at all helpful.
2.
I booked a taxi to go to the airport to catch an early flight. The taxi arrived at my house almost an hour late, and I missed my flight. I'm not going to use that taxi company again because they are so unreliable.
3.
We bought a new executive chair for our office, but after just a week, a wheel came off. I phoned the company to complain, and they said they would send another immediately. In the end, it took 9 phone calls and nearly 2 months to get a new chair. We've been loyal to the same company for years. However, we were dissatisfied with the service this time, so we've changed to a different company.
Audio 29.
And the final story on Consumer News Tonight is about customer service and the Internet. Broad-Base Software conducted a survey into how online customers are treated. It asked people to buy a product from an online retailer and then return it as soon as they received it. They were also asked to try and make contact with the retailer. The results of the survey are generally encouraging for consumers. They can contact all the companies, either by email or through a call centre, and with 89% of them, customers can choose how to return goods. But 29% of companies take more than 2 business days to answer emails. This means that if customers want a quicker response, they have to spend more money by making a telephone call. The results show that the returns policy of online retailers is getting better, but Broad-Base Software believes it is still not absolutely satisfactory.
Audio 30.
So, can you tell us something about the results of this survey into the use of the Internet, Petr?
Well, first of all, let's look at the different age groups. There is still a large difference between the number of young and older people who access the Internet. 90% of those in the 16 to 24 age group have used the Internet in the last 3 months, whereas the percentage in the 65-plus age group is only 24%.
That's not that surprising, though, is it? After all, young people have grown up with the Internet.
That's true. And also, as you might expect, the most popular activity is searching for information about goods or services, which takes up 86% of our time online. The second most popular activity is sending and receiving emails at 85%. Generally, men use it more than women. But one of the few activities that women are more interested in than men is looking for health-related information. 31% use the Internet for this as opposed to 24% of men.
What about where we access the Internet? Do we spend a lot of time at work online when we should be working?
No, actually 87% log on from home, whereas only 44% access it from work. 52% of Internet users say that the most important reason why they don't use the Internet more is because they don't have time. But only 10% worry about the security and their privacy.
Okay, one last question. Which products have the highest sales?
Films and music. 51% say that they have bought films, music or DVDs recently, whereas 46% say that they have purchased travel, accommodation and holidays.
Audio 31. 1.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling because you've sent me 20 color ink cartridges instead of 20 black ones.
I see. Can you give me your order number, please?
Yes, it's WJ92745.
Yes, I'm very sorry about that. I'll send somebody round tomorrow with the black cartridges. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
2.
Hello. I'm calling because there is a mistake with my invoice. It says $1,000 instead of 100.
All right. Can you give me the number on the invoice?
It's RF007/24.
Yes, it's our mistake. I'm terribly sorry. I'll send you a new invoice.
Thank you.
3.
Optimum Office Supplies. How can I help you?
Hello. I'm calling because I ordered some paper a week ago and it still hasn't arrived.
That is a problem. When was the delivery date?
Yesterday morning.
I do apologize for that. We're having a problem with our delivery agents. I'll call them to find out what has happened.
Don't worry. I think I'll cancel the order. It's not the first time this has happened.
Audio 32.
Right, let's start. The reason we're here today is to discuss how we can improve our customer service. As you've seen from my email, we've had far too many complaints in the last 3 months. First of all, let's look at our sales staff. Customers say they're rude and they don't know anything about our products. Jeanne, let's hear your idea.
Well, I think we should change the profile of our sales staff. I don't feel we should employ so many young people because they don't know how to deal with customers.
I don't agree. All we need to do is give our sales staff a week's training before they start.
How do you feel about that, Sven?
I agree with you, Kirsten. A training course would teach our sales staff how to deal with customers as well as giving them some information about the company. They would be happier in their jobs, and so they'd be more polite to customers.
I think you're right, Sven. OK, so let's move on to our refunds policy. Customers have complained that it's too strict, and we've lost a lot of business recently. What do you think, Kirsten?
Personally, I feel we should give all customers their money back if they're not satisfied with their purchase.
I don't agree at all. Think of the expense. I don't think we should give refunds to customers if they can't produce a receipt.
Well, perhaps we should exchange the product if there's no receipt. Do you agree?
That sounds better.
Yes, that's much better.
OK then, so...
Unit 7. Audio 33. 1.
This is a flight announcement for flights scheduled to leave Terminal 1 in the next hour. Flight BA 7293 to Singapore at 14:45 has been delayed until 16:30. Passengers are asked to wait in the departure lounge and watch the screens for further information. Flight BA 7293 to Singapore delayed until 16:30. Passengers should wait in the departure lounge. Flight UA 0472 to Boston is now boarding at gate J13. Flight UA 0472 to Boston, now boarding at gate J13.
2.
Oh, hello. Can you tell me what time I have to check out, please?
Yes. You have to leave your room by 12 and return your key card to reception.
Would it be possible to leave my suitcase here until I have to go to the airport?
Yes, of course. But please don't leave anything valuable in it.
No, of course not. I'll take my valuables out of the safe and put them in my bag. Can I pay my bill by credit card?
Yes, of course.
3.
Oh, good morning. I need to get to Copenhagen as soon as possible.
Well, flight EX3465 departs at 1300. Shall I see if there are any seats free in economy class?
Yes, please.
Yes, that's fine. Would you like a one-way ticket or a return?
Only one way, please. I don't know when I'm coming back.
OK, that's £44.99, please.
Can you tell me what time the flight lands in Copenhagen?
Yes, it lands at 15:45.
And at which terminal?
Terminal 2.
Thanks a lot.
Audio 34.
The two best train services to the airport are the Narita Express and Airport Narita Rapid Service. And the journey takes about an hour. A more expensive option is to take a taxi. Fares start at 14,000 yen. There are 5 private shower rooms in Terminal 2, which come with shampoo, bath towels, and hair dryers. They can be used by passengers arriving at or departing from the airport. A 30-minute session costs 500 yen. Passengers can exchange money at the many banks in the airport. Cash machines are available in the check-in area of departures, but there are none in the departure lounge. Passengers can leave luggage in the airport for a maximum of 3 days. The lockers cost 300 yen per day for a small bag and can be found in both terminals. A number of different companies offer mobile phones to rent in the airport. Passengers should go to the information desk in departures to find out where their chosen company is located.
Audio 35. 1.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, I want to see Susanna Ketchel.
Can I have your name, please?
Jim King.
Do you have an appointment, Mr. King?
Yes.
Okay. Which company are you from, Mr. King?
Flying High Limited.
Thank you. Please sign here and I'll see if Miss Ketchel is available.
2.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, hello. My name's Helen Edwards, and I'm from Citibank. I have an appointment with Susanna Ketchel at 11 o'clock.
Okay. I'll call Susanna Ketchel and tell her you're here. Could you tell me your name again, please?
Yes, it's Helen Edwards.
Thank you. Would you like to take a seat while you're waiting?
Yes, thanks.
Susanna will come and meet you in about 5 minutes.
Do I need to sign in?
Yes. Can you just sign here, please?
Of course.
Thank you. And here's your security pass.
Oh, thank you very much.
Audio 36.
Excuse me, are you Josef Tropinski?
Yes, I am. And you must be Dan Ford.
That's right. Pleased to meet you, Josef.
Nice to meet you, Dan.
Okay then, let's go and get a taxi.
Right, I'll follow you.
Okay, the taxis are outside, about 2 minutes walk from here. So, did you have a good flight, Josef?
It was delayed for half an hour, but apart from that, everything was fine.
Well, I suppose half an hour isn't so bad. Do you often travel abroad on business?
Probably about once a month, really. Last month I was in Granada.
Really? Granada's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Have you been there then?
Yes, I went there with my wife for a weekend a couple of years ago. Did you see the Alhambra?
Yes, fortunately we had time to do a bit of sightseeing, so I went to have a look.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was beautiful. And really peaceful too. In fact, I loved it.
The architecture is amazing, isn't it? Are you interested in architecture, Josef?
To be honest, I don't really know much about it. But I do enjoy visiting new places when I can. What about you?
Yes, me too. But I've only got time to travel during the holidays. When do you usually take your holiday?
I usually have a fortnight in the summer and a week in early spring. How about you?
I always go skiing for a week in February.
Do you? Where do you usually go?
To Andorra. There are some excellent ski slopes there. Can you ski?
Yes, I really enjoy it. Last year we went to Slovenia in March. It was brilliant and there was plenty of snow.
Well, here are the taxis. Let's get in the queue.
Unit 8. Audio 37.
It all starts when a potential customer phones us or emails us to make an inquiry about our products. We provide them with the information, then quote them a price, normally within 48 hours if they want a standard product. The customer then places the order and we begin to process it. Obviously, we check first of all that the product or products are in stock, and then we confirm the order with the customer and give them a delivery date. If they agree with the date, we package the goods and ships them to the customer. Our customer can track the progress of their order at any moment in real time using our online tracking service. We then deliver the shipment to the customer, hopefully to the right address, with the invoice attached. We then ask them to pay the invoice within 30 days. Fortunately, most of them do.
Audio 38.
JPH Printing, how can I help you?
Hello, this is Horton Consulting here. Houghton. I'm calling about an order for some business cards. I'd like to know when we can expect them.
Could I have the order number, please, madam?
Yes, it's 762/29B.
One moment, please. I'll just check. Right, here it is. 762/29B, you said?
Yes, that's right. The delivery date was Monday the 26th of February, but the business cards didn't arrive then.
Yes, there's a note on the order. I'm afraid there's been a problem with the quantity you ordered. We're going to deliver the cards next Thursday morning instead. That's the 8th of March.
Oh no, that's too late. We're attending the company conference in Toronto on the 5th of March, and we need the business cards to take with us.
So, when is the latest we can deliver the cards?
On Friday the 2nd of March at the latest.
Okay, I'll speak to the manager and see if we can change the delivery date. As soon as I've spoken to him, I'll call you back. Okay?
Yes, thank you. I'll expect your call very soon then. Thanks.
Audio 39.
Hello, is that Michael Wan?
Speaking.
Hello, Michael. It's Finola Young here from GW Architects.
Hello, Finola. How can I help you?
I'd like to meet you sometime next week to discuss our ideas for the new software application.
Yes, of course. When are you available?
Does Tuesday morning suit you?
I'm afraid I'm not available on Tuesday. Shall we say Wednesday at 11 instead?
Yes, that suits me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So that's Wednesday at 11 then?
Yes. Goodbye.
Audio 40.
Hi, Sven.
Hi, Finola. How's it going?
Not too bad. Listen, can we meet for lunch next week?
Great idea. When are you free?
Is Tuesday okay for you?
Sorry, I can't make it on Tuesday. How about Thursday at 12:30 instead?
Sounds good. Same place as usual?
Yes. Same place at 12:30. See you then.
See you on Thursday. Bye.
Audio 41.
OK then, let's start, shall we? We're here to decide on a new logo for the company. Any ideas?
Well, personally, I quite like the old one. Why don't we just change the colours? Make it look a bit more modern and leave it at that?
I don't think that'll work, Tony. We want something really new here. A state-of-the-art design that shows how far we've come since we started.
Maybe we should change the name of the company too. I mean, Rollinson's Audiovisual Solutions is quite long, isn't it?
Yes, I think we should shorten it. We could just have the initials RAS in the logo.
That's a great idea, Carl. RAS. That sounds good, doesn't it? How about changing our name to RAS?
I'm not sure about that, Ingrid. One thing is the company logo and another thing is the name. I suggest we use the initials RAS in the logo, but keep our name so that people still know who we are. What do you think?
Fine, I think that makes sense.
Good. Now, let's move on to the question of who's going to design the logo.
Well, if we want a complete change, we'll need to find a different designer. Shall we ask a few local designers to send us a sample of their work and take it from there?
OK. Let's look at some local companies first and see what sort of work they produce. Tony, will you look into that?
Yes, of course. No problem.
Right then. What about style? What are we actually looking for here?
Audio 42.
One of the most obvious considerations for an online retailer when choosing a delivery company is the price of the service. However, a low-cost company is only a good choice if the service is fast. Customers want the products they order as soon as possible, and so a next-day service is the most popular. They also like to know where their goods are, so an efficient online tracking system is essential. It's important that your delivery company offers a number of different delivery options, like early morning or late evening, to make the delivery convenient for the customer. Some companies send a text message or an email to their customers to tell them when to expect their goods. This obviously improves their first-time delivery rate. If you have to deliver the same product more than once, the delivery is more expensive for the retailer. Finally, the speed of the delivery can also be improved if the goods are collected from the retailer daily, twice daily, or on
Pre-Intermediate
demand.
by David Grant, Jane Hudson and Robert McClarty. Published and copyright Oxford University Press, 2009. CD 2. Unit 9. Audio 43. 1.
I know that companies have to advertise to sell their products, but you don't need to have big billboards everywhere. They're really horrible, and they get bigger and bigger every year. I think the mayor of Sao Paulo was right to do what he did.
2.
I think you need to have laws on advertising. You have to stop companies advertising products which are bad for you. In my country, you aren't allowed to advertise cigarettes, for example.
3.
I think some advertising laws are really stupid. Where I live, you're allowed to advertise beer and alcohol on TV, but you can't do it before 8 p.m. The idea is to protect children, but most children watch TV until at least 10 p.m.
4.
Some people say there's too much advertising online, but when we use the internet, we usually don't have to pay to get the information we need. That's because many website owners make their profits from advertising, so we can use their websites for free. I agree that there are a lot of ads online, but you don't have to look at them.
Audio 44.
I don't agree at all. I think it's wrong to close all these factories and move production to low-cost countries.
Sorry, but when you produce goods in China, for example...
Can I just finish?
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it's all happening so quickly. Factories are closing and there are no new jobs for factory workers here.
Can I just say something here? Relocating to low-cost countries helps to reduce prices for us in the West. And those countries...
Yes, but if you don't have a job, you don't have
Please,
any...
let me finish. It's the low-cost countries like China or India which will be the big markets in the future. If you produce there, it's a good way to attract future customers and earn market share.
Yes, but companies need to boost sales here too. And if people don't have jobs...
Audio 45.
So, we're here today to talk about Central Europe. We need to discuss our new marketing campaign.
So, who's going to start?
Maybe you, Anton. Can you tell us about the advertising budget?
Yes, OK. To support the new sales campaign, we have to spend more on advertising this year. Last year, our spending in Central Europe was 28.6 million euros. This year, we have decided on a budget of 37.5 million.
Sorry, I didn't catch that, Anton. What was that you said?
Yes, sorry. Our spending last year was 28.6 million euros. And this year our budget is 37.5 million euros. We want to spend the extra money on a big outdoor advertising campaign.
Yes, that's definitely a good idea.
OK, if we now look at the budget for Western Europe, we see that last year
Sorry, Anton, but I think we're getting off the subject here. Can we come back to that later?
Yes, OK. But I really think we need to discuss Western Europe too.
OK, I think we've covered advertising. Can we move on to the next point?
Sure. Do you want to talk about sales now, Edward?
All right. Well, we forecast a 7 to 10% increase in annual sales for this year, and we're looking for a similar figure for the 2 following years. That's in the markets where we have a stronger presence.
Sorry, Edward. I'm not with you.
What do you mean?
Could you be more specific? Which countries are we talking about?
I mean Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic.
OK, thanks.
Well, anyway.
Can I just say something? As I said before, I really feel we need to review the budgets for Western Europe.
OK, Anton, I agree. But I think we need to have another meeting about that on another day. Edward, did you have anything else to say?
No, I think that's everything. Can we sum up what we've agreed?
Sure. So, Edward, you're going to prepare a detailed sales forecast, country by country, and Anton, you're going to...
Unit 10, Audio 46. 1.
We've got some rather unusual drinks machines in our office, which recycle bottles and cans. They're called reverse vending machines. When you've finished your drink, you put the can back into the machine. They're quite popular, actually, as our office produces less waste and you feel as if you're helping the environment.
2.
We didn't do much to help the environment in my office until someone started an initiative to turn the lights off. It's a really effective way to save energy and cut costs.
3.
The most environmentally friendly area in my company is probably the canteen. Most work canteens use plastic knives and forks, but the ones we use are biodegradable, and so are the cups. I think it's a useful way of teaching people about green issues, and at the same time making rubbish less harmful.
4.
We've started a carpooling system in my office so that we don't all drive our cars to work every day. The idea is quite popular, actually, and about 60% of the staff take part. At least 2 people travel in each car, which means we're cutting our carbon emissions by more than half. It's also useful because we don't arrive so late at the office.
Audio 47.
So, Tony, what services does your advertising agency outsource?
Well, cleaning for a start. We contract a private cleaning service to clean our offices because the building is so big.
Ah, that wouldn't work for us. You see, the machines in the factory need to be cleaned by professionals, so we employ our own cleaners.
Really? And how about maintenance?
We outsourced this until last year, but now we employ 3 technicians. We need experts to look after the machines.
Right. We outsource to a maintenance company.
Do you?
Yes. It costs us less to contract a private company than to employ our own maintenance people.
What about IT? Who looks after your computers?
We've got our own IT department because the programs are so specialized. How about you?
No, we outsource to a local IT company. We haven't got enough computers to need our own technicians.
How about human resources?
We've only got about 50 employees, so we've got an agency which finds new staff for us when we need them. I suppose you employ your own staff?
Absolutely. The HR department is quite big, so it can do all the employing itself.
We outsource the training, though, because there's so much of it.
We outsource training too, because we don't need it very often.
What else? I know, the canteen. Have you got your own cooks?
No, the catering is outsourced to another company because only a few employees use the service. And you?
Oh, yes, we outsource too, so that we get a better service. Talking of food, I'm hungry. Do you fancy going out for lunch?
Audio 48.
Hello, Guido. You said you wanted to talk to me?
Yes, come in, Teresa. I wanted to talk to you about the green initiatives proposed by head office. Which proposals do you think would be most effective?
Do you mean in my department or in the whole company?
I mean in the whole company. Head office wants us to cut our carbon emissions by 10% before the end of the year.
Sorry, did you say by the end of this year? I thought the proposal said by the end of next year.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We've got until the end of next year. I've been looking through the ideas, and I think it would be really easy for us to keep the windows closed when the heating is on.
So, are you saying we should tell people they can't open the windows?
Yes, at least not when the heating's on. Also, perhaps we could turn the heating off for part of the day.
What do you mean by part of the day?
Just a couple of hours in the afternoon. Between 2 and 4, let's say.
Well, I suppose that might work. The office does usually get very warm then.
Audio 49.
Hello and welcome. I'm Christopher Jansson from Carbon Reductions, and I'm here today to tell you about the advantages of going green. If you take action now, you'll be ready for the government's new green laws. I'll talk about the new regulations later. First of all, we're going to look at the benefits of a clear green policy. Well, the most important advantage of becoming more environmentally friendly is an increase in your company profits. Just by turning off machines when you're not using them and turning the heating down in warm weather, you can reduce your electricity bill. If you pay 20% less for energy, your business will get a 5% increase in profits. Let's move on to the question of your company image. An increasing number of consumers and business customers today will only buy from or invest in companies who help protect the planet. By showing you are trying to reduce carbon emissions, you will increase your appeal in the market and attract more customers. My next point is about your reputation as an employer. If you make a commitment to the environment, you will encourage more people to come and work for you. People don't just want to buy from responsible businesses, they also want to work for them. There is one more important result for your business if you start adopting environmental policies now. In the near future, governments are planning to bring in new regulations for dealing with climate change. Being prepared for these will save you time and money when the new rules are introduced. And, as I said before, you'll make bigger profits if you start saving energy right now. That brings me to the end of my talk. Thanks very much for listening. Now, are there any questions?
Unit 11. Audio 50. 1.
Last January, a large electronics company in Spain held a corporate event for its leading dealers, and I was lucky enough to be invited. The purpose of the event was to reinforce the relationship between the company and its clients, and the venue was a 5-star hotel in Brazil. They arranged a few trips for us, including a visit to the beautiful city of Salvador de Bahia, and an afternoon riding quad bikes along the deserted beach. I had a great time.
2.
The best corporate event I've ever attended was a visit to Italy. One of the big banks in Germany decided to entertain its VIP clients by inviting them to the opera. The venue they booked was the world-famous opera house La Scala. The invitation was actually addressed to my boss, but he was unable to go, so he asked me to go in his place. I accepted the invitation and flew to Milan 2 months later. The event was the opening night of Tristan and Isolde. It was wonderful, and after the performance we had a tour of the building. The evening finished in the most exclusive restaurant in Milan, where we talked business over a delicious 5-course meal, accompanied by the best wines.
Audio 51.
Where do you think we should take them?
Well, Benito's is good. I went there last week.
How much is it per person?
About 35 to 40 euros.
Sounds good. What do you think, Luigi?
Well, actually, I think we should go to that new seafood place. La Galette?
Oh, it's expensive though, isn't it?
Yes, it's about 60 euros a head. But if it's nice, we'll be able to sit outside.
Yes, but there'll be 5 of us. So if we choose La Galette, it'll cost us about 300 euros, including the wine. Benito's will be about half that.
Anyway, which evening shall we go?
How about Friday?
But if we go to La Galette on Thursday, there'll be live jazz.
Well, there's a singer at Benito's nearly every evening.
So, what time does Benito's open?
At 7 o'clock, I think.
And do we have to book a table?
No, I don't think they take bookings. But it won't be full if we get there for just after 7.
Okay. Let's go to Benito's then. Is that okay with you, Luigi?
Yes, fine.
Audio 52.
I don't know what to have, Anita. What do you recommend?
Well, you must try the Parma ham. It's absolutely delicious.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll have the ham as a starter.
Perhaps we can share the ham and order a salad as well.
Good idea. And then we can each order a main course.
Right. What do you fancy?
I'm not really sure. What are the pizzas like?
Well, they're not bad, but I recommend the pasta. It's excellent here. They make it themselves.
Delicious. What are you having?
I think I'll have the lasagna. What about you?
I'll have the spaghetti carbonara.
Okay. Shall we order a bottle of wine?
Yes, why not?
Red or white?
I prefer white, if that's all right with you.
That's fine. Waiter!
Audio 53. 1.
So, here we are. This is your hotel.
Thanks very much for picking me up at the airport.
My pleasure. Just before you go, some of us are meeting for dinner tonight. Would you like to join us?
Thanks for the invitation, but I'm exhausted. I think I'll just get something in the hotel and then have an early night. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
2.
Please take a seat.
Thanks.
Shall I get you a glass of water?
Yes, please. That would be nice.
3.
Hello, Samantha, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Hi, I'm Philip. Would you like a coffee?
No, thanks. I'd rather have tea.
4.
Did you know the Chinese State Circus is in town?
No, I didn't. Oh, I love them. I've seen them 3 times.
Well, would you like me to book a ticket for you?
Yes, please. That's very kind of you.
Unit 12. Audio 54. 1.
It's not how they described it to me. At the interview, they said that their target was to have 45% of management positions filled by women. But 5 years later, I'm still here in the same office, and 2 men who arrived at the same time as me have been promoted above me. It's very disappointing. I really thought I had a big future here.
2.
We've reduced the number of accidents in the plants by 20%. We haven't achieved our target of less than 100 accidents per year. But we are getting there. Last year was encouraging because the number of serious injuries went down dramatically.
3.
We've had a really excellent year, much better than we expected. We're the darlings of the stock market at the moment. If you want to buy shares in the company, I think you should do it now, before the price goes up too high.
4.
The last 3 years haven't been very good. First, there was that pollution incident in our biggest factory. Then there was all that media criticism for not using electric vehicles. It's been a very poor performance. I don't like to tell people who I work for.
5.
Well, it hasn't been easy in the last 12 months. The new CEO told us to reduce our costs by 10%. In the end, we only managed to reduce them by 5%. But then it was quite a good year for business. I suppose I could say we've had a satisfactory year.
Audio 55.
When did you start selling here in Dubai, Lionel?
We opened our first sales office in 2004.
And how long did it take to get your foot in the market?
Well, we had disappointing results for the first 2 years, but since 2006, our market share has gone up to nearly 5%. What about you, Raul? How long have you worked here?
I've been in Dubai for 3 years now, actually.
Do you have a family here?
Yes. My wife and children moved here last year. What about you?
Audio 56. 1.
1.39%.
2.
0.033.
3.
102.
4.
7,467.
5.
906,570.
Audio 57.
It's 5:55 p.m. and here's the World Stock Market Summary. In Tokyo this morning, the Nikkei closed at 13,688.28. That's 2.84% up on yesterday's closing figure. The FTSE 100 was 38.6 points up at 5,932.2. The DAX also finished the day slightly up at 6,904.85. That's a rise of just 0.07%. At midday New York time, the Dow Jones was down by 69.85 points to 12,357.41. And the Nasdaq was also down by 10.19 points to 2,316.91. That's a fall of 0.44% since the start of trading.
Audio 58.
Have a look at this graph. It shows the number of cars produced in China compared with the other 3 major world producers, the USA, Japan, and Germany. Let's start with Japan. As you can see, passenger car production fell at the end of the 90s. But since the beginning of this century, production has risen from 8 million to around 10 million. In the USA, production also dropped at the end of the 90s, but since then, the number of cars has continued to decrease. In fact, new car production has fallen by 2 million since 1997. The performance of the German car industry has been less disappointing than the USA. Car production grew from 5 to 5.5 million at the end of the 90s. Since 1999, it has remained stable at just under 6 million vehicles per year. So, let's turn to China. As you can see, in the first 4 years, the number of new cars increased to just over 500,000 vehicles. But in the last 10 years, it has grown dramatically. Car production rose to 3 million in 2005, and since then it has increased by 1 million vehicles a year.
Unit 13. Audio 59.
Welcome to Eye on the Environment, and today analyst Judy Collins is here to tell us about the effects of the oil crisis. Judy, how will the oil crisis affect the economy?
Well, Andy, economists estimate that a 5% reduction will cause the price of oil to rise by more than 400%, and customers will have to pay more for consumer goods too.
Can you explain?
Well, oil-based substances are used to make plastic, and so all plastic goods will become more expensive as the oil starts to run out.
And obviously the car industry will be one to suffer.
Yes. Not many people know that over 20 barrels of oil are used to make one single car, and then the cars need oil as fuel. Experts forecast that only a few people will be able to run cars in the future.
What effect will that have on the workplace?
Fortunately, recent advances in technology will improve working conditions for many employees, as companies will have to introduce teleworking schemes. Air travel will also be limited because of the cost of fuel, and so more business will be conducted internationally by video conferencing. The situation will deteriorate until a substitute for oil is found, which won't be an easy task, as oil is used in so many different ways.
Judy Collins, thank you for talking to us.
Audio 60.
In 2020, more women will work than ever before, and the working population will be older in general. Many working women will be mothers, so they will occupy the increasing number of part-time jobs available. There won't be many management positions, as employees will work together in self-managed teams. In addition, work will be more flexible, and colleagues might not see each other often, as most people will work from home. Companies will still have office buildings, but they will be much smaller, and there won't be many offices. Instead, the buildings might contain the company gym and a bar area or cafeteria for social events. Finally, employees may not stay with only one company in 2020, and so employers will have to offer much better working conditions. More employees may take career breaks, but in the future they will be able to rejoin their company in the same position and with the same salary they had before. In general, companies will have to fight hard to keep their staff, and so employees will be in a much better position.
Audio 61.
So, Gina, what are we going to do about our problems with staff turnover?
I think we should organize a team building weekend.
Yes, that might work, I suppose. But it could get expensive.
Well then, how about holding a weekly departmental meeting where people could talk about their problems?
I'm not sure about that. I think everyone is too busy to spend a couple of hours a week in another meeting.
Okay, so why don't we offer employees some specialized courses in languages or IT skills?
That's a good idea. We could see how much it would cost. Any other ideas?
Well, we could give everyone a pay rise.
No, I'm not happy about that at all. There are people who deserve it and people who don't.
Okay then. What about introducing a bonus system? So the people who stay longer get paid more. Would that work?
I think that's a great idea. Let's try it and see what happens.
Audio 62.
So let's start, shall we? As you know, the object of the meeting is to answer any questions you have about the new teleworking scheme we're introducing from next month. Hiroko, would you like to start?
Yes, thank you, Jean. I wanted to ask about money. I understand that teleworking will reduce costs for the company. Just how much are we likely to save?
I can't tell you the exact figures right now, Hiroko, but the new scheme will definitely save the company a lot of money, especially in heating, lighting and office space.
So, is our office building likely to close?
No, the office is unlikely to close completely, although we won't need such a big building anymore. We may look into the possibility of moving to a new building, or we might rent out some of the office space we don't need.
I wanted to ask about productivity. Do you think people will do more work from home?
I hope employees will feel more motivated when they can organise their own time. Teleworking is a sign that we trust our workers to do their work independently without someone standing over them all the time. It probably won't be easy for some people to start with, but I'm sure people will be happier working from home.
But are you expecting an increase in productivity?
Yes, I am. Apparently, most companies report an increase of 10 to 40%. So, hopefully, productivity won't decrease because of the new scheme. Next question.
I wanted to ask about the employees. What advantages will they get from the scheme?
Unit 14. Audio 63.
Hi, Sylvia. So you're back from New York. How was it?
Good. It's a great city to visit. And I met some really interesting people at work. But I'd go crazy if I lived in the USA.
Why's that then?
Well, it's the pace of life there. Everybody's always running. No time to stop and think. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, of course. So what would you do if they offered you a job there? It's quite possible. They're looking for new people all the time.
Well, if it was only for a year or two, I might say yes. It would be good for my CV.
But only for a short time?
Yes. If they wanted me for longer, I wouldn't accept it. It would be too stressful.
Audio 64. 1.
Can you finish the report by Friday?
Well, I'm not sure. There's a lot to do on it.
Well, within a week then.
Listen, I'll do it before the end of next week. I promise. Would that be okay?
Well, I suppose so.
2.
When do we need to send the quotation?
They asked for it as soon as possible.
OK, I'll start working on it right away.
Do you think it'll be ready on Monday?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, just one other thing. Can you send me your hours for June when you have time?
Yes, sure.
Audio 65.
Hi, Hans-Peter. It's Luca. I'm calling because we have a problem with delivery.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, basically, we've got a lorry driver strike here. They're blocking all the major roads. I can't guarantee that we can deliver today's order on time.
Oh, no. We need those parts by tomorrow.
Yes, I know. But I have another solution. Would it be okay if we send them by train?
Yes, that would be possible. But could you get them to us in time?
Yes, I've checked. They'd arrive at about 6 p.m. tomorrow.
6 o'clock? But we need to start production mid-afternoon.
Ah, I didn't know that. Well, what if we transported them by train to the border? Could you send a lorry to pick them up?
Yes, I think we could do that. What time would the driver need to be there?
The train gets in at 5:35 in the morning.
Okay, good. That would allow us to get the parts to the factory on time.
Of course, rail transport is more expensive than road. Would you agree to pay the extra cost?
No, sorry, Luca, that wouldn't be acceptable. This lorry driver strike is your problem, not ours.
Okay, I understand.
Unit 15. Audio 66. 1.
Hello, Thierry. Come in and take a seat.
Thanks.
Now, this isn't easy for me to say, Thierry. Basically, I've been very disappointed with your performance this year in Eastern Europe. I was hoping for much better results in that region.
Well, I'm surprised, Scott. You asked us to boost sales, and we achieved that. 3% up on last year.
Yes, but I really wanted to see 10%.
Well, you never told me that when we spoke this time last year.
2.
Okay, everybody, we have 10 minutes left. Can we talk about the South American market? Pilar, you were at the trade show in Mexico City last week. Can you tell us how it went?
Scott, I didn't go to Mexico. I had to go to Spain last week. I told you about it in our meeting 2 weeks ago. Don't you remember?
No, sorry, I don't. Never mind. Roberto, didn't you do a report on the South American market a few weeks ago?
Yes, but I didn't know we were talking about that today. I don't have the figures here. They're on my computer at home.
3.
Hi, Scott. Is there enough for me there?
Yes. Help yourself. The sugar's right there.
So, have you finished looking at that proposal?
Not yet. I've got to about page 10.
It's just that I need your signature on it. I have to send it this evening.
Sorry, Maria. I've got so much to read at the moment. The sales managers have just emailed me their monthly reports. I think I'll be here all weekend.
Well, before looking at them, could you just finish reading the proposal, Scott? It's only about 15 pages in all.
Audio 67.
First, think about where the appraisal will take place. If possible, you shouldn't use your own office, because employees sometimes find it difficult to talk easily. The next thing to remember is that this is a two-way conversation between you and the employee. So, you mustn't do most of the talking, even if the person in front of you is very quiet or shy. If you know something about the employee's personal life, you could begin by asking them about their family or a recent holiday, for example. This will create a positive atmosphere. Now, when you begin to talk about your employee's performance, you shouldn't start with negative feedback. First, you should look at their personal goals for last year and let them say how they have or haven't achieved them. And if they haven't achieved them all, you must discuss why this hasn't happened and offer real solutions.
Audio 68. 1.
First, I think Marek should try to take a week or two of holiday and spend some time with his wife and children. It'll also give him time to take a step back and think about the reasons for his poor performance. When he returns to work, he needs to work on his management skills. First, he must learn to manage his own work better. He should ask for training in time management and managing people. It might be an idea to hire a personal coach. Then he really must talk to his team. He should set clear goals for them, and each person should know that they are responsible for meeting their own deadlines. If they can do all that between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., that's fine. If not, they will have to consider making the team bigger.
2.
Claudia is young and successful. Maybe her boss, the sales manager, is afraid of her. Or perhaps he just doesn't want to lose his best sales rep. Claudia should talk to him first because she needs his help to get a better job in the company. She could ask him what she can do to improve her promotion prospects. If it's a question of training, he should offer it to her. The other possibility is to speak to the CEO. She shouldn't do this immediately because her boss won't be happy. But if her boss doesn't help her, she should tell the CEO that after 5 years in the same job, she would really like management experience. She could say that she would prefer to stay with the same company, but if it's not possible, she will leave.
Audio 69. 1.
Hey, I just opened my email and saw your message. How did you know?
Well, last time we met, you told me you'd be 40 on the 1st of June.
I don't remember that at all. Well, it was very nice of you to think of me.
Ah, you're welcome.
2.
Well, that was good.
Yes, it was. Thanks very much. Next time you come, it's on me.
No problem. It was great to hear all your news.
3.
Do you think you'll be okay with it now?
Yes, that's great. I think I can manage by myself now. Thanks for helping me.
That's okay. Call me if there's anything else you need to know.
4.
So well done. You've done a great job. And I'll speak to the HR manager about your training needs.
Great. Well, thank you for all your help and advice. It's been really useful.
Not at all. And let me know if there's a problem with that training course.
Audio 70.
You look stressed. What's happened?
Well, Tom asked me to work late again tonight.
Is that for the annual report?
Yes, but I said no.
Right. Why's that?
Because I have a meeting at my son's school this evening.
I see.
And tomorrow's Friday, and I have to leave at 6 because I'm going to the theatre. I don't know why I feel so bad about it. I haven't been home before 9 o'clock once this month.
I know how you feel. Sometimes I think it might be an idea to have a bed here.
The worst thing is, I don't understand this new software we're using. That's why this report is taking so long.
I understand totally.
I mean, I've asked 3 times for IT training this year, but they always say they don't have the money for it.
I know, it's not easy for you. When's the deadline for the report?
Next Monday.
Listen, it's not your fault. The company should let you do that training course.
Yes, but the report still has to be done. And Tom says that when there's a deadline to meet, work comes first. And he's right.
Listen, I'm sure there's a solution. Let's go for a coffee and think about it. And don't worry.
Audio 71.
Perhaps you could go to your son's school, then come back to the office later in the evening.
No, I can't do that. He'll want to talk to me about his teachers after the meeting. I can't just tell him I'm going back to work.
Have you thought of coming in at the weekend?
Well, that might be possible. But Tom has to be there too. I think he's got a wedding on Saturday or something, and I'm not free on Sunday.
But as Tom says, when there's a deadline to meet, work comes first.
That's true.
So why don't you tell Tom that you can work on Saturday? If he can't, that's his problem.
Yes, good idea.
Audio 72. 1.
I've applied for 3 jobs in the international division. I had the right experience for the job, but each time I was rejected because my English wasn't good enough. But in my 6 years with the company, they've only given me one 30-hour English course. Oh, and another thing. Those 3 jobs I applied for, I saw them all advertised in the national press. They don't advertise jobs here in the company until very late, or sometimes not at all.
2.
It's difficult to know what project managers really think of your performance. They only tell you if things are going badly. We have a system of annual appraisals, but managers don't always do them. They say there's no time, but I don't think they like doing them. Actually, I think some of them are just not very good at communicating with people.
3.
When I first joined the company, I had 1 week of technical training. After that, I was on my own. I don't see my colleagues very much because we're usually with customers. After 6 months here, I have so many questions to ask. It's difficult when each project is so different. At the moment, I'm working on a new motorway, a bridge, and a petrol station. There are lots of consultants with experience in those fields, but they never have time to answer your questions.
4.
We work on the same projects, but we don't really work together. If something goes wrong, it's always somebody else's problem. We have an Employee of the Month award here. Each month, the project managers can choose one employee whose performance has been exceptional. The winner receives £300 more in his pay packet. I really don't think it's a good idea. It just encourages employees to think about themselves and not about others.
Unit 16. Audio 73. 1.
I was working for a European airline when I decided I needed a career change. I was 45 and tired of the low salary and antisocial hours in the airport. I applied for a job with a travel agency where I could use my strengths in dealing with the public. I got the job, which pays much better than my previous one, but I'm finding it very stressful. Unfortunately, my greatest weakness is time management, so I've always got too much work. I don't know how long I'll stay here.
2.
When I left school at 16, I had no career plan, so I went straight into the army. By the time I was 28, I realised that I didn't want to spend my whole life there, so I decided to leave. I went to night school to get the qualifications to go to university and study maths because I wanted to go into teaching. Now I'm head of maths at a secondary school, and I think I made the right decision to leave the army.
3.
15 years ago, I left my job in the civil service so that I could have children. When they were old enough to go to school, I started looking for part-time work so that I would be home in time to pick them up in the afternoon. The only jobs available were in the local supermarket, but I wanted more of a challenge. I decided to do a course in human resources at the local college, and now I run the human resources department of a local company. I really love my job.
4.
Last year, I decided to give up my high-powered banking job and move to the country to concentrate on my painting. It had always been my ambition to hold an exhibition of my own pictures, but I'd never had enough time to paint. Unfortunately, I didn't realize how much I would miss my old life. I don't enjoy painting now that I do it full-time, so I'm thinking about calling the bank and asking for my old job back.
Audio 74.
And it's not just pop stars who give their money to good causes. Sports personalities are getting involved too. Let's look at the case of international footballer Ulises de la Cruz. Several times a week he sends money back to his hometown in Ecuador. Ulysses grew up in a very poor village in the Chota Valley and experienced extreme poverty when he was young. As an adult, he spends much of the 900,000 euros he earns per year trying to improve life in the community. When Ecuador reached the World Cup finals for the first time in 2002, Ulysses paid for a new system providing water for the village instead of buying a fast new car. Since then, he set up a medical centre and he's provided the school with books and a new roof. He pays the salaries of the doctor, the nurse and the dentist in the medical centre, and he buys breakfast and lunch for all the children who go to school in the village. Ulysses' current project is focused on something which is very important to him: sport. At the moment he's building a sports and community centre for his village. He says he'll open it at the end of the season, if it's finished in time. Life for the 200 families in the village has improved greatly thanks to the footballer, but Ulysses hasn't finished yet. Next, he's going to build 40 new homes for the villagers. The village is going to have a complete facelift, and the man responsible for that is Ulysses de la Cruz.
Audio 75. 1.
Well, it's 5:30. Time to go home. Shall I wait for you?
No, don't worry. I'm going to stay and finish off this report.
OK. Bye then. See you on Monday.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
2.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But I really must go now.
Right. Well, it was nice meeting you.
And you too. See you next time.
3.
Bye, Sue. I'm off.
Bye, Brian. See you tomorrow.
4.
Well, here's your taxi.
Right. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome. Goodbye. Have a good trip.
Thanks. And goodbye, Dylan.
Audio 76. 1.
Good morning and welcome to the annual conference of Wired to Play Entertainment Limited. My name is Thorsten Richter and I'm head of the European division. I've been with the company for 15 years and last year I was promoted to this position. In my previous role, I ran the creative department in Bonn, where we developed the best-selling games Riders in the Storm and Kingdom Come. Over the last year, I've met with all the country managers to discuss our falling sales figures. At the moment, we're working together with a consultant, Amy Chang, to analyze our main problems. In the future, we may have to target a different market to increase sales. I'd be grateful for any ideas you might have here. So, that's enough about me. Let me tell you about those sales figures I mentioned.
2.
Right then, before I start, I'll tell you a bit about myself. My name's Amy Chang, and I'm a freelance consultant. I studied economics and business at Beijing University from 2002 to 2005. And after doing my MBA, I joined PricewaterhouseCoopers. I left Price when I had the opportunity to go freelance. Recently, I have worked on several successful cases with clients of yours, which is how I came into contact with your company. Up to now, I've managed to find solutions for all the companies I've worked with. In my current role as consultant to your company, I'm looking to improve your sales figures and reduce your costs. Over the next year, I'll spend 2 weeks in each department before I sit down and write my recommendations report. I'm looking forward to working with all of you.